Welcome back to NNB Sports. If you haven't subscribed, please do so now. Today we are talking about the news on all Longhorns fans' minds. Jerrick Gibson, the number 2 overall running back, committing to the Longhorns yesterday. If you remember, the Longhorns got C.J. Baxter, the number 1 overall running back last year. And let's not let this overshadow Christian Clark, the 23rd overall running back, committed on Friday, I believe. So things are looking very good for Tashard Choice in that running back room. You know, he's got Jonathan Brooks, who showed some flashes last year, including that big time run in the Kansas game and against an improved Kansas team. It's hard to give people credit for doing things against Kansas, but they're looking better. And also Jaden Blue, the 6th overall running back in 2022, is currently on the roster. So I think that Tashard Choice, getting Bijan drafted 8th in the first round, and for what he did coaching up Jahmyr Gibbs at Georgia Tech, who went 12th, number 12 overall pick in the first round. And then, of course, Roschon in the 4th round. He's showing that Texas will develop that talent. And, in the past, it might have been, maybe one 5-star in the running back room, and then nobody else is going to commit because they didn't believe that Texas was going to develop talent and get all these kids drafted. You needed to start, or a lot of kids were transferring somewhere else. So now I think recruits are believing in Tashard Choice. And let's not forget, I'm sure NIL has played a huge part in this, because this is a 5-star. I'm sure he'll be a 5-star recruit, and he chose Texas over, Alabama and Georgia. I'm sure all the usual suspects there. Show some highlights here, but this guy is a good athlete. He's run a 4.5 laser timed 40 with a 41-inch vertical. That's good. That's high level college Division I, like premier running back, athleticism. He's also been clocked at running 20.9 miles per hour in one of his runs, and on that run, it wasn't a straight line run. He was weaving in and out, so possibly could have got faster. I'm interested to see if he'll be able to catch out of the backfield. Not a lot of highlights of that. But, with his athleticism, I'm sure that won't be an issue. There's some worries about, he's split time. He's at IMG Academy. They have a lot of great athletes there. He's split time, but let's look at the positive of that. He'll probably be healthy, a lot of tread on those tires, and hopefully he'll be going into a situation where he doesn't need to be, taking 90% of the carries, because, as I mentioned, Christian Clark will still be there, will be there. C.J. Baxter, Jaden Blue, all these guys should be, competing for time, and it kind of reminds me of, the Texas teams of the early, 2000s, where, we had multiple running backs that would be on the same roster and then also get drafted. And I think that's what you're really going to need for the Longhorns moving into the SEC. You can't just have one guy, because when you're playing the SEC and you got to, pound it against those teams, you need to have depth and keep your guys fresh. And I think Sark's really building that right now. Just look at their current running back room. They just lost Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of a step back, but, the Jonathan Brooks, seemingly stepping in as a starter. And as I mentioned, Jaden Blue, and then you got Savion Red, who's really transitioned from receiver to running back well from all the things you're reading. And, then you got like the Swiss Army knife, Keelan Robinson, little speedster, can catch it, do whatever you need at running back. There's a lot of emphasis and development going on there, and I think recruits are seeing that. So this is obviously a great get for the Longhorns. He'll probably get his 5th star. This class, as you can see, is not very big at the moment. There's 6 recruits there. You can't see the punter at the bottom. But it's really starting to come together. I think this recruiting weekend is going to be huge. Hopefully, some more news continues to trickle out, and they start to build up this class. Which, of course, I'm not worried about Texas and recruiting. I'd like to continue to see top 3 classes, but with the great class they have now, and the kind of momentum they're picking up, I think they're easily going to be positioned for probably another top 10 class. So, let us know what you think of